What is this, like, new we're doing on these? We've never had.
The 8th or the 15th?
No, I was just looking at it. That goes out to the triangles.
Oh, I just didn't recognize it, I was curious.
That's trying to get ahead of the game.
It's a crapshoot, which day, the 8th or the 15th? You know for sure?
Well, we should ask. What?
They should go.
It's a very simple question.
I'm supposed to know this stuff.
That's when it usually would be anyway. They're always every 2 weeks. So, we'll see.
Our next meeting here
Yes.
will be on the 15th.
Okay, thank you. See, that was my guess. I was right for once.
We just had to change this one because the audit's due tomorrow.
Do you guys have a scheduled meeting? Do you want it scheduled?
I was looking for website. Yeah, thank you, Val.
If you got one,
Yeah, thank you.
The next meeting is something maybe Dustin will get up or.
I'm not coming actually to pick on you guys. I'm coming because I was told I shouldn't.
That phone takes me back, Ken. I had one of those years ago.
What?
Your
Flip phone?
Yeah, it takes me back. You know, they're popular again. My nephew actually requested one.
Hey, I'm old. I have it for road emergencies, you know?
I had my original cell phone was not a flip phone, it was just the one little piece.
Oh.
Yeah, I have one of those.
See, I'm lying. It's funny, I've never seen you get enough back.
Yeah, flip phone, and then they forced me to upgrade again.
So if people find out, they give you the cartons back, they get refilled. Once they get the cartons back, they don't get them right.
See, I never had a pager.
I did have a pager.
Never had any reason to.
I got an extra dozen truck I can give you, send you one.
No, it's okay.
No, you don't eat them? Farm fresh
No,
eggs?
I actually just got a dozen and a half at the store. It takes me, I'm not an egg person, so it takes me.
But farm eggs are better.
They're really good.
Yeah, his eggs are excellent.
I wouldn't have bought them this weekend.
You tell somebody eggs from a chicken that's actually 8 bugs taste better, and they go, ew. You know he'll roll in the minute you call it to order.
It always works.
In North Branch, there's one guy who's always late, and they'll wait 15 minutes for him. It's crazy.
Hey, Jim, you coming to the meeting?
That's one of my pet peeves. Everybody gets caught in traffic once in a while, but you're late to every meeting and every event.
Yep. All right, let's do it. All right, call the meeting to order at 4:30. Rise for pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I just think of Louis. Do that video. I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carries. Approval of prior board meeting minutes.
I make a motion to approve the prior board meeting minutes of March 18th, 2026.
Support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carries. Approval of accounts payable and payroll.
Make a motion to approve the accounts payable and payrolls in the amount of $355,201.31 dated April 2nd, 2026.
Support. Large disbursements, A Saginaw paving, $13,584.68. CS Motors, $13,668.57. Corrigan Oil, $38,915. Latigo Trucking, $11,336.85. MERS, $20,157.01. Michigan Department of Transportation, $18,525.74. OHM Advisors, $18,442.50. Truck and Trailer Specialist, $13,124.14. What was A Saginaw paving for?
Cold patch to Lapeer Garage, cold patch to Conway Garage.
Okay. CS Motors?
2 trucks, 2 tandems. One of them had engine work done with it, with the EGR. Yeah, and then it was having some throttle issues, so that was the bulk of it for the 12, a little over 12.
MDOT?
And that was Mount Morris Road Bridge.
Same with OHM Advisors?
That was a multitude. That was the final plan for the City Road that I'm not routing, along with the construction administrative, the MDOT paperwork for the Mount Morris project, and then a little bit of construction administrative work for Barnes, Jefferson, and Barnes, Jefferson, and Clifford Road.
What was Boxcar Studio for?
Website.
Did you ever give me a number on the Precision, how much we paid Precision since this fiscal year?
I started tallying that up. I will have that to you by the end of
I was just curious.
So.
Yeah, it seemed better again, but I'm good.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Road projects.
Make a motion to approve the 10 township road project agreements.
12.
Oh, that says 10.
There's 12.
Okay, there's 12.
Forgot to update it.
Okay.
You're
12
taking-
road projects.
12, okay. All right, support. Discussion?
Something simple.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Communications.
In your packet is some communication from the Lapeer County Drain Office in regards to the sheriff drain improvements. That's over in Cumberland Township and City.
Okay. Questions on it, Terry?
Nope, I'm good on that.
All right, managing director.
Seeking a motion to approve the digital accessibility policy. That is through our insurance demand, and it deals with digital accessibility for the websites and media. Pretty straightforward policy. It's the template that we received from the insurance carrier to use.
So you need a motion on that, do you?
Yes.
Make a motion to approve the digital accessibility policy.
Support. Any discussion?
Nope.
Okay.
Roll
Roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Commissioner Howell.
Yes.
Roll call vote, Commissioner Jostock.
Yes.
Paving bids.
The 2026 HMA paving bids, they were opened, and the low bidder was A Saginaw Paving for a little over $3.8 million. With the next two bidders exceeding $5 million in that. We do have a list of projects, so we'll be putting together the final project package here soon based on plan. So looking for a motion to approve the 2026 HMA paving bids.
Did we have a copy of the bids in here? I didn't see it.
You should have, if you have a copy, you have a copy, period, if you don't.
It's the one that has the town share, or the town right there.
Yep,
Oh.
right there. Yep.
Everything's in order.
Right?
Everything's all in order.
I'm good to make a motion to approve the 2026 HMA paving bids.
Support, any more discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public hearing.
Looking to set for the board to set a public hearing date for the abandonment of Coldwater Road on May 13th, 2026 at 4:30 p.m. That'd be directly right ahead of the regular scheduled board meeting.
So we'd have that, and then
Then we go into our board meeting, yes.
I make a motion to set the public hearing date for abandonment of Coldwater Road on May 13th, 2026 at 4:30 p.m.
Support. What section is that for? Because that's
gonna
Coldwater's a big road, so
That's gonna go, there'll be more correspondence coming from that from our legal team. However, there'll be from the end of the cul-de-sac to the Genesee County line.
And that is part of the GCDC
project, Genesee County Drain Commission project, going through the parks area.
I'm familiar with that.
All right, roll call vote?
Roll call vote, Commissioner Howell?
Yes.
Roll call vote, Commissioner Jostock?
Yes.
Carries. HR.
Can we do director of maintenance?
Yeah.
The rest of my report. So we did receive another 2 totes of that experimental material for M53. So we continue starting that Dryden Road. We made it to about Paul's collision going southbound. So we have a phone call into NDOT to see if we can get some more of that material. It's not going as far as what we thought it would go, but it seems to be adhering to the pavement pretty good and sticking in there in that thin application. So that is working. Weight restrictions are going to go off 6 a.m. Wednesday, April 1st in Lapeer County.
April 1st?
April 1st, correct. They've also started pulling the shoulders on the state routes. So like on M53, M90, they've went out there and started just with the disc right now, nothing aggressive with the trucks or the graders or anything out. They're just trying to get some of that edge of that berm cut loose before that grass greens up. We're anticipating with some of this warmer weather and rain, the vegetation is going to green up in a hurry. So we're just trying to get ahead of things on the stakes. So the shoulders are wider, and it's not going to make a sloppy mess. So.
No, that looked good up on 90 where I seen that. They did that.
Correct, yeah.
That it, Dustin?
That is it.
Okay. HR.
Fuel pump safety training was done in North Branch. Tuesday will be done at the Emily Garage and Lapeer Garage. Going over some basic training on fuel pumps.
Finance.
We have a motion to approve we need to present the funding year 2025 audit by UHY.
Okay.
Good afternoon, thank you. I'm Karen Shafiq. I am a partner at UHY that oversees your audit. We came out a couple months ago and kind of went through everything. I do just want to thank your staff, management, all your staff, everyone that helped. As you know, we asked a lot of questions, we asked her a lot of things, and break up your day, definitely, and we just want to say thank you. You know, it takes a lot of effort to pull everything together, so. And then I'm just going to kind of go through a brief summary of your financial statements. Please stop me with any questions that you may have. I'm just going to kind of give you a brief overview. We went through this report in great detail last week, so. The first part of your audit report is an independent auditor's report. That's on pages 1 through 4. This is really the only part of the report report that is UHY, so you do have an unmodified or clean opinion, best that you can get, and what you strive for each year. Essentially saying your financial statements are presented in accordance with GAAP and are materially correct. So that's what you're looking for in the audit. On pages 5 through 10, we do have the management's discussion and analysis. This is a required presentation or required part of the report, and it really is just a narrative written by management going through the financial statements, gives some summarized financial information, and really just a narrative on what has happened in the road through this past year, and some things to look forward to in the next coming year. And on page 11, you've got your balance sheet and your statement of net position. Fund balance at the end of the year, so September 2025, we had just under $5.7 million in our fund balance. That's up a little over $1.6 million from last year. Your fund balance is broken up into a couple different sections. About $1.15 million is non-spendable, so those are really assets that are not able to be spent again. They're going to be converted really kind of into expenses at that point. There's $2.275 million that's committed for specific projects or specific reasons, and then just under $2.275 is unassigned, which is really can be used for your general purposes and really can be used for what you like. Looking at your statement of net position, you do have a net pension asset at the end of the year of $84,841. So this is really saying that your pension plan is fully funded. You're 100.38% funded. Last year there was a liability of over $1.2 million. So definitely some big gains this last year with your net pension asset. Your net pension liability at the end of the year is $3,058,167. This is really showing that your OPEB liability, your OPEB plan is funded 60.53%. And your liability is slightly up over last year, which was $3.03 million, and now you're at like $3.05 million. So not a big change from last year. But it is over what the state is asking for funding for OPEB plans anyway. And then really looking at your net pension, or net position, of the road as a whole. So this is really what your financial statements would look like should the road commission be like a company. It would have all your assets, your capital assets, all your liabilities with your pension and everything. Your net position is over $130 million. That is an increase of just under $12 million from last year. So the majority is invested in capital assets. You're just under $125 million invested in capital assets. That's up from about $117 million last year. So really it's just kind of showing all those investments and all that outlay in purposes of either roads for infrastructure or equipment and things like that. So the investment that the road commission is doing in itself there. There is a restricted net position of $84,841 just for your net pension liability that really can't be spent. It is restricted. And then your unrestricted net position is just over $5.8 million, which is actually up from $1.6 million last year. So again, this can be used for general purposes there. Looking at your operating and like your really your income statement on page 12 and really on page 38, which looks at your budget to actual, your operations, you actually budgeted a decrease in your fund balance of $970,528. You actually ended up with an increase of over $1.6 million. So there's a little bit, you really kind of ended the year about $2.6 million better than what was anticipated. Some of it is just timing of when projects started and things like that. But that's kind of where your budget was. You also have on page 13 an employee health care benefit trust fund. So these are investments and assets that are set aside strictly for your OPEB plan. So at the end of the year, there was $4,690,522 set aside for your OPEB plan. The contributions this year into your OPEB plan, about $524,690 was actually made above what was actuarially determined to be contributed. So more is being put in to that fund and being paid for insurance than what is required by the actuarial report. Then the next part of the report on pages 14 through 37 are your notes to your financial statements. Thereafter that, you've got your budgetary comparison schedule and then some trend schedules for both your pension and your OPEB system and OPEB plans. That's on pages 38 through 45. So you can really see kind of how some things have changed over the last 10 years for both your pension and your OPEB plans. And then after that, on pages 46 through 48, you've got your detailed revenues and expenditure schedules as well as the activities by fund balance sub-account, so your primary county road, and all of your county sub-accounts or your fund sub-accounts have positive balances at the end of the year. That's really kind of the layout of the financial statements. There are also a couple of letters that should be kind of tucked in there as well. There's an internal control letter and on a communication letter, which is required communication with the board. Items in there we went through last week in great detail, so that's really it. So that's kind of all the deliverables at this point. There will be a single audit which will be completed in the next 3 months, so there's that.
Karen, I think the single audit is new to the board. Can you explain to the board what project the single audit will be done on and the reason for the single audit?
Absolutely. So a single audit occurs when federal awards or federal dollars that you receive and have kind of control over how it's being spent exceeds a certain threshold. And this year it's at $1 million. So it's the Shaw Road, is that right? I want to say Shea Road, but I'm pretty sure it's Shaw. It's the Shaw Road project that occurred this last year. So with that project came in federal funds. And really what we have to look at, because there are some compliance requirements attached to that, really kind of how you spend it, some of the things on getting your contractor and all of those things. We really have to look at that project really kind of in a bigger microscope. So we just have to make sure we're looking at what compliance requirements, so we're making sure that they were met, that there's internal controls over those processes and things like that. So it's really just a byproduct of this financial report, but will be done in the next couple months, and then that actually gets sent out to the federal government as well and filed with them. So
are we gonna see another one of those then for like Barnes and Jefferson?
To my knowledge, no. The reason for this audit view is that, as Karen said, it's a threshold of the project. However, those Barnes and Jefferson is being administered through the state of Michigan, where the Shaw Road project was administered through the Lapeer County Road Commission.
I got a question on page 41. I guess I just don't understand it. On page 41, they're talking about 2025. We got 12.16%, and last year we had 97%, and then the year before 100%. I guess I was just trying to get an understanding of that.
yeah, so what the contributions are that are being made, so that very first column is the actuarially determined contribution, so that's really what your actuary is saying you have to contribute.
Okay.
And for pension plans, you have to contribute that every year, what it says. The past, up until this last year, there have been additional contributions being paid into the plan every year. So looking at last year, there was over 1.7 million put into it. I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think last year we were talking about kind of where things were looking with the plan, that I believe you guys made the decision to not put so much additional in.
Pull back, yeah.
And so that's really kind of the reason for that.
Okay.
Because once it's in here, that's it.
You don't get it back.
Yeah, I was just curious on that. I didn't know, and I was like, seeing the number change it much.
Right. It's the
It kinda
same
made
with
me
the
wonder.
OPEB plan. Once it goes into that trust, that really is not supposed to be used for any other purpose other than pension benefits. I will say there are probably some caveats with that, like once, if there's still money kind of sitting there and there's no more. But hopefully you're quite a few years away from that, so.
Right. And then on page 38, I guess what's the difference between the final budget and the actual? Because if you go down total expenditures.
Yeah, so what I believe had occurred is typically when projects are kind of budgeted for, it's the entire project is budgeted. If it crosses years and all those expenditures cross years, it's then not in the actual amount, but it's in that budget amount. So I do.
So it's in the final budget, but it's not in the actual, okay.
Right. So there will be some carryover into this
Okay, I
next
knew we
year.
did carry some stuff over, so.
Yeah,
Well, that's fine. Thank you.
yeah, you're very welcome.
You good?
I'm good, are you?
Yep.
All right. Make a motion to approve the FY 2025 audit as presented by UHY.
Support. Any more discussion?
I'm good.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Alright, thank you. Public time, any from the public?
Justin's looking at me going, please no, please no. Kent Kopnick, Oregon Township. We just found out at a budget meeting, our township is looking at floating a road millage to fund 29 miles worth of road repair that has to be done. And you guys are aware we have somebody that knows how everything is supposed to be done. And he's figuring we've got about $16 million worth of work to do. He's figuring $5.5 million per mile and calculating how many miles a day somebody can do. And while I'm not a road engineer, the numbers are just twisted my head sideways. Even if we've got the money, we're not going to lay out 29 miles worth of road in a season or two. And I'm just wanting to know if $5.50 a mile is realistic and how many miles you can actually figure on doing a day. If Dustin can clue me in after the meeting, I would appreciate it.
Okay. Not a problem. We can do that for you.
Thank you.
Yep. Anything else from the public? Alright, commissioners?
Yes, no, over on Farnsworth and Daly Road, there was a car fire right by the vet clinic, and they did a horrible job cleaning up. It looks pretty ghetto over there. Left fiberglass, our delineators all melted, just looks trashy. I didn't know if the guys could go clean it up, but if they can't, I'm probably gonna. So, because it looks really trashy.
I'll pass that on to our,
Yeah, just
group
don't-
here, see what we can do.
Looks bad for our community. And also, I got a request about some potholes on King Road. I told them to call them in, but I still tell
On
them.
what road?
King Road.
King Road, okay.
And I know we got potholes on every road, so it's not, but that's all I had.
If you will, can I give you guys a thank you?
Sure.
A lot of the roads that I have to drive, I take somebody to dialysis. Dustin knows the roads. I will say for the last couple of weeks, all the big tire buster holes have been filled. It's actually been pleasant to drive compared to what it was. Just whoever our foreman is in that area, just tell them thank you.
Let them know.
I'll pass it along.
Another thing I got to kind of comment on too, it's funny, Jack, at the last meeting brought up, you know, we throw the coal patch in the hole and leave. Well, then my brother Bill showed me a picture of patching, and I think it was Marathon Road. There's no way they could run over all them holes. They'd have to have a full roller behind them. So in their defense, they can't hit them all.
That's what ate my sway bar.
Right, yeah, they need a roller road back there, because there's no way they're gonna, I mean, it was like, he laughed, he says, yeah, I think they need a full rubber tire roller behind that one. But, no, they've been doing a good job.
Dustin, is there any plans from MDOT to fix 24 South of Dryden Road there by that subdivision? Where the shoulders all tore up asphalt wise?
Yes, that is, gonna be something that we'll tackle this summer with a more permanent fix.
Okay.
Do maintenance, if we can't get additional funding, we'll have to get fixed through maintenance, so.
That's all I had. All right, we are adjourned at 4:57.
Dustin, guys, enjoy the CRA?
Yes, I heard a lot of good, reviews back, from the employees that attended, so. We typically, I was just looking to see if we had on one of those maps, we typically estimate right around, anywhere between 600 to 650,000 a mile for paved road, depending on the width of it and the work that needs to be done. The gravel roads, you gotta depend on whether they're, aggregate or limestone or natural aggregate that would go down, and those costs can vary huge. But I'll give you a more, detailed cost of some of the common fixes for the roads.
Well, I was getting numbers of how many miles a day somebody could lay, and I'm like, no, wait a minute. They can drop the asphalt and roll so many miles, but there's a lot of work prepping the bed before it all gets done, man.
Yeah.
And I'm beginning to panic, and I'm wondering about private contractors again, who will or won't get the contracts, and I'm just.
We estimate, and like an overlay, we'll estimate about 250,000 a mile, go out an overlay road. We try to overlay as many as we can before you get to the more expensive qualifiing and rebuilding of the mountain up. So, if we save the road, try to save it. And if we can't, it goes on the crush and shake list, and that's where you're over 600,000 a mile. So, depending on the width of the road and traffic, so.
So if he's paying $5.50 a mile at today's rates, by the time the village gets done and everything gets put in place,
Should be,
we're gonna be behind again.
you're probably gonna be right, you know, a little over 600, between 600 and 650 a mile, not 500, 600.
Just know, Dustin, it's not personal. You know the
Yeah,
situation.
I can give you some more in-depth numbers. Yep, thank you, Jeremy. So.
Yeah, thank you.